Thought we'd start our program off today by talking a little bit about the skin and skin health, specifically that scourge of adolescence and, unfortunately, these days of many adults, and that is the skin disease called acne. Yesterday, the USA Today website ran a little 60-second video piece on foods that fight acne, as if acne were some kind of boogeyman that needs to be fought off. And the advice was the typical idiotic mainstream media silliness that you hear about diseases and about medicine and about health in general. Some pretty gal was wearing surgical scrubs suggesting that we eat almonds and watermelon to eliminate our pimples. But nonetheless, at least it was supportive of the link between foods and the skin and skin diseases, contrary to what you'll hear from most doctors and dermatologists who still consider the link between diet and the skin to be non-existent. According to Dr. Sarah L. Taylor, assistant professor of dermatology at Wake Forest Baptist Health in North Carolina, who's quoted on the myfox8.com website as saying, quote, contrary to popular belief, diet is not a contributing factor to acne, unquote. Well, seeing as how acne is caused internally, nobody disputes that. And that means it's caused by dirty blood. That's what we mean when we say something is internally caused. It seems kind of silly to think that there's no digestive connection, there's no food connection to acne or any other skin diseases. The only way anything can get into the blood and then into the skin is through food. Unless you're injecting something intravenously, or perhaps breathing something in, very unlikely. Seeing as how most of the time something gets into the blood through food, I'm not sure what this particular medical genius, Dr. Sarah L. Taylor, is thinking when she says such a thing as diet is not a contributing factor to acne, but as many of you guys probably know, that is the standard doctor dogma when it comes to treating acne and other skin diseases. Even the Nestle company, no friend of healthy diets, even the Nestle company admits that there's a relationship between what we ingest and what shows up on our skin. In a paper that was published in 2011, published by the Nestle-funded Nestle Nutrition Institute. Nestle Nutrition Institute bills themselves as the world's largest publisher of nutritional papers and journals. Even the Nestle Nutrition Institute discusses the link between milk and acne. They have a headline article that was headlined, Evidence for Acne-Promoting Effects of Milk and Other Dairy Products. As some of you guys know, the skin is a subject that has been near and dear to my heart since I was in pharmacy school back in the 1980s. And when it comes to the skin, no health challenge is more frustrating and the source of more angst than acne, which affects 80% of Americans at one time or another. I suffered from it myself when I was a kid, and I also suffered from the absolutely useless medical strategies of antibiotics and topical creams, like many of you guys did. I wish somebody had told me about zinc. I wish somebody had told me about food intolerances and probiotics and the digestive connection, but back then, nobody knew. Acne is caused by the same thing that causes all degenerative diseases, that is, diseases that don't resolve themselves. It's caused by sick cells. In the case of acne, you got sick skin cells. That's it, folks. Sick skin cells. Skin cells going crazy, growing in a disorganized, chaotic, out-of-control fashion. Nothing more, nothing less. That's acne. Skin cells growing crazy. And why do skin cells grow crazy? Why do they go nuts? Because they're starved, they're suffocated, and they're toxic. They're missing the key nutrients, they're not getting oxygen, and they're toxic, and that results in inflammation. Once cells become sick, once they're starved, once they're toxic, once they're suffocated, they begin to grow out of control. This happens throughout the body, and it also happens on the skin. The formation of an acne pimple from a microscopic perspective begins with these out-of-control growing cells. Cells need to grow in an orderly, systematic fashion. This should come as no surprise. The body is an incredibly organized, coherent system, and chemistry and biology have organization and specificity, really a precision that is beyond belief. A pimple is really nothing more than a combination of the skin cells that are lining the pores and the follicles, growing out of control, and as they grow out of control, fats are secreted, and you end up with clogs and lots of sticky cells and slimy, gooey oil, and this forms a substrate. It forms a food source for bacteria that live on the skin, and thus you end up with your basic pimple. So what do? Well, nutrition is always going to be the answer. Even your dermatologist, unbeknownst to him, uses nutrition to treat acne. But he uses topical nutrition. He uses something called retin A. Retin A is vitamin A. Topical vitamin A. Well, you don't need a doctor's prescription. You can use something called retinol, topical retinol, and you can use internal vitamin A as well. In fact, internal vitamin A is a must-have for acne. It's a must-have for everything. It's one of the mighty 90 essential nutrients, and it can have wonderful benefits for healing blemish-prone skin. It works in tandem with my favorite mineral, which is zinc. Zinc as well is a must-have mineral for a lot of reasons, including the health of the skin. And essential fatty acids are mega important for all skin issues. For dry skin, for oily skin, and for acne as well. Eczema and psoriasis also benefit by supplementing with essential fatty acids, and it's also important to keep your blood sugar stable. All this means the Healthy Start Pack. It probably means the Sweeties too. You'd probably be wise to include some Biolumin Nightly Essence as well if you are dealing with acne. Vitamin E can be helpful, the B vitamins. Of course, that means you're beyond tangy tangerine in your Healthy Start Pack. The bottom line is, when it comes to the health of the skin, and when it comes to the health of any system in the body, the medical model of drugs and surgery and radiation is helpless and useless, but it doesn't matter because we can do it ourselves with a good nutritional supplement program like the one designed by Dr. Wallach. If you've got questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we are here for you. Our number is 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552. Got lines open for you. We'll get to your calls in the bottom of the hour. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network. We'll be back right after this.
We've all heard the term baby boomer referring to those born from 1946 to 1964. There are an estimated 80 million baby boomers, with the first wave hitting the Social Security and Medicare systems in recent years, with more to follow. Many healthcare experts are predicting epidemics of Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cancer among this group. However, these impending epidemics can be averted, as there is a new group emerging. This group we call the baby bloomers, because despite their chronological age, they are still physically fit, active, working, and playing. They've heard Dr. Wallach's message regarding diet, lifestyle, and nutritional supplementation. So while many around them diminish in health and vitality, they are blossoming and blooming into vibrant, healthy, on-the-go people. Wouldn't you rather be a longevity baby bloomer? If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Numerous studies have shown the link between the intake of antioxidants and disease prevention. Foods and supplements are measured in an ORAC scale. ORAC is an acronym for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity. In other words, the ability to remove disease-causing free radicals from the human body. Longevity's Cell Shield RTQ has an ORAC value of 15,800 points per serving. Cell Shield RTQ contains resveratrol, known as an anti-aging compound. Turmeric, known for promoting healthy digestion, brain function, immune system, and cellular longevity. Quercetin, a flavonoid, is known for promoting healthy blood sugar metabolism and healthy lung and cardiovascular function. Remove free radicals from your body with Cell Shield RTQ from Longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Welcome back to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. I am Pharmacist Ben, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. We got lines open for you if you want to call in, if you've got questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs or the longevity products, or if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you just want to contribute to our conversation. 831-685-1080 is your priority line number, 831-685-1080, or 888-379-2552, 888-379-2552, toll free. I'm a nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements in my practice. Don't like prescription drugs. Never made sense to me to use prescription drugs, to use drugs of any kind to help heal the body. Drugs are toxins. Drugs are poisons. You already got a sick body. Why would you want to poison it? Why would you want to stress a body further? It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. Doctors pride themselves on being scientists, on being logical. It just isn't logical. On the other hand, diseases are oftentimes caused by nutritional deficiencies, so doesn't it make sense to use nutritional supplements? And indeed, you'll find that when you get on a good nutritional supplement program like the Healthy Start Pack and the Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients designed by Dr. Wallach, you are going to feel better no matter what your health issues are. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number, 888-379-2552, toll free. We'll get your calls here in a little bit. I'll be sitting in for the next 45 minutes or so with my good friend and colleague, Douglas Winfrey. What is up, Doug?
Well, great to have you back on again.
Thank you.
And I have one here that kind of shocked me when I saw this headline of this story that came from Fox News. Homeopathy doesn't work, Australian experts say. They describe homeopathy differently than I ever thought what the definition was. And they say homeopathy, the idea that one can heal oneself with illness-inducing substances in tiny quantities, basically.
Like a vaccine.
Yeah, and that's what was the first thought that struck me. Well, if people are doing this and they say it's quackery, doesn't that mean that vaccines are quackery?
Yeah,
I mean, by the same logic. And they say basically a bunch of quackery practiced by delusional people who take their own lives in their hands and might just as well take a sugar pill, according to
wrote that?
Australia's National Health and Medical Research Council.
There's no one person that wrote that.
No,
it's
a statement from the whole council, and they go on to say there are no health conditions for which there is reliable evidence that homeopathy is effective. Declares that the fairly blunt report, which also recommends that health insurers stop subsidizing homeopathic remedies and pharmacies not to stock them. They go on to say people who choose homeopathy may put their health at risk if they reject or delay treatments for which there is good evidence for safety and effectiveness. Yeah, like radiation for cancer. Isn't cancer sometimes caused by exposure to radiation? Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, you got cancer. Let's give you some more radiation.
Right. And did they say which prescription drugs actually work to heal anything? Did they mention
No, they didn't. It is a fairly short article here. They go on to say that report reviewed hundreds of studies on homeopathy and notes that they found no evidence that it's more effective than a placebo. One doctor told The Guardian, I have no problems with private colleges wanting to run courses on crystal ball gazing, iridology, and homeopathy, and if people are crazy enough to pay for it, it's their decision.
Well,
but he thinks the government shouldn't approve it. And according to the Australian Homeopathic Association, they said they're not deterred, but urged. They say respects and advocates patient choice. It's not only a blow to homeopathy of late. A Canadian study on homeopathic treatment for kids in ADHD came under fire earlier in the month from the scientific community, calling it pseudoscience.
Really? Well, it warms my heart how much these doctors love their patients. They're so concerned. But I think that
you wouldn't want to take something natural when you can take a poison that's man-made. I mean, geez.
Well, here's the deal. Homeopathy is not simply using something that induces a disease.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. What we do would be considered homeopathy.
No, homeopathy, technically homeopathy is opposed to allopathy, homeo meaning the same as, and that is the theory that you use something that causes disease to treat the disease. But the idea with homeopathy is that you use very, very tiny dilutions, 1 to 100,000, 1 to 10,000 parts of the particular offending agent in some kind of liquid, and then you do some kind of, I don't know exactly what they do, but they create some kind of electrical current, and that's theoretically how homeopathy works. Now, the theory is one thing, and that's great, but the idea that homeopathy doesn't work flies in the face of hundreds of years of evidence that indeed it does. In fact, I've observed the evidence of it working myself in the world of skincare. You ever hear of homeopathic arnica, Doug?
Not yet, but I think you're going to tell me about it after the break.
We'll talk about it when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. If you've got questions about health or nutrition or about anything we're talking about, 831-685-1080 is our priority line number, 888-379-2552. Toll free. We're going to take a break and come back with more good health information on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program right after this. Don't go away.
Imagine a rich, decadent chocolate that's actually good for you. Longevity's Triple Treat chocolate is just that. An antioxidant-rich dark chocolate complete with probiotics to aid in proper digestion. This all-natural product contains no preservatives, and for those with dietary restrictions, it's gluten-free, dairy-free, glycemic-friendly, and kosher certified. Not only does Triple Treat dark chocolate taste fantastic, it contains super antioxidant blueberries to absorb free radicals with an ORAC value of 16,936 per piece. Triple Treat chocolate also contains a proprietary blend of probiotics with over 500 million live healthy bacteria per 8 grams at the time of manufacture, with 80% reaching the intestines, which is much more than most live culture yogurts. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
With increasing rates of osteoporosis, it's becoming more and more evident that most Americans have low blood levels of calcium. Some would say,
I get all the calcium I need from dairy products.
Unfortunately, that's just not true. Besides, most dairy products are homogenized and can contain steroids and antibiotics that kill off good bacteria in the digestive system. Not to mention, the human body needs magnesium to make use of dietary calcium. That's why Longevity developed OsteoFX Plus, containing bioavailable plant-derived forms of vitamin D3, calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, and glucosamine sulfate. OsteoFX Plus is formulated to support healthy bones and joints. Not to mention, OsteoFX Plus tastes great, unlike other products that taste like chalk or dirt. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Longevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and want to try Longevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. Again, that number is 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we will see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember the phone number. Again, it's 313-444-3463. Again, that number is 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
All right, we're back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. I am Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. Thanks for joining us. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552. Toll free. If you've got questions about the Longevity products, we can help you. Questions about the Longevity business, we can help you as well. And if you have a success story you'd like to share, we particularly love hearing success stories. So, homeopathic arnica. You never heard of arnica? It's an herb. It grows here in Colorado.
I knew a guy named Arnie once, but
no, it's not the same
thing.
Not
as close.
It's actually a toxic herb, but in dilutions, in 1 to 100,000 perhaps, dilutions which are very dilute, you can't even see the homeopathic medicine in a dilution that's that small, and that's why doctors feel, and scientists in general feel like it's more quackery than anything else. The problem is the stuff works, and I've seen it work. I've particularly seen it work on mouth ulcers. But it also is used to treat inflammation after skin peels and plastic surgeries. There's a lot of literature that supports its use, although there is literature that says it doesn't work. There's also literature that talks about how well it works, and I've witnessed it work myself. There's an article here I got from the journal Homeopathy concluding the results of a trial suggest that arnica montana given after tonsillectomy provides a small but statistically significant decrease in pain. Now, if something works, that's all that matters, you know? There's no prescription drugs that work. There are prescription drugs that reduce symptoms, maybe, but there's no prescription drugs that do anything to help heal the body. Homeopathy has a long history, a tried and true history of being effective for healing, for working. In fact, this battle between orthodox medicine and homeopathists, homeopathists, has been going on for a long time. Do you know, to this day, you can actually get homeopathic medicine in a drugstore that has on the box itself claims that for curing disease, but you can't see that you don't see claims for curing disease on nutrition, and you don't see claims for curing disease on pretty much anything else, because the FDA and the Federal Trade Commission, for that matter, are very strict about making claims, but they don't regulate homeopathy. Because back in the day when medicine was being formed, when the modern medicine as we know it today was starting at the turn of the 20th century, the homeopathists and the people who were using homeopathy, they didn't want to lose their homeopathic remedies, and so the government was forced to make homeopathy of equal on equal footing to allopathy, and to this day you can get your homeopathic remedies at drugstores, and they'll all have claims, just the same kind of claims that prescription drugs have, because back in the day, turn of the 20th century, the government was forced to admit that homeopathy was at least equivalent in terms of its effects and its benefits to allopathy and drugs. And
so they had as good a lobbying. They had as good a lobbying group
the
as
medical
the medical
folks
doctors.
Did. Oh yeah. The chemical industry.
The naturopathic guys missed the boat on that one.
They did, but the homeopathic folks didn't. And the homeopathic, to this day, homeopathists are considered on equal footing to medical professionals and allopathists, I guess you'd say.
So are they still licensed in all 50 states?
I'm not sure about the licensing, but I know the remedies themselves have equal, they're allowed to make claims, just like drugs are making claims. Homeopathic remedies are allowed to make claims, because back in the day, people were very happy with their homeopathic remedies, and they didn't really want to go into allopathic drugs. It was a hard sell to get people to take drugs. They were happy with their herbs, and they were happy with their homeopathic remedies, and they had to be convinced, and generations had to go by before people were bought into this whole idea of using prescription drugs. And of course, there were some successes with antibiotics and pain pills and such. In any case, homeopathy has a tried and true history of being effective and being helpful for folks who are dealing with all kinds of health issues, and I've witnessed it myself. So much for those folks, whoever that is in Australia, Douglas Winfrey. Anyway, we're going to come back and take your phone calls. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552, toll free. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. We'll take a break and come back with more good health information right after this.
Free from the shackles of corporate America, we're the place for independent thinkers. GCN.
The freeze-dry guy, leader in the preparedness industry for 44 years, is closing his California warehouse. Don't miss out on this huge warehouse sale and receive discounts from 30 to 40% off on the finest Mountain House and Packaway brand freeze-dried and dehydrated foods for long-term food storage or even everyday use. Plus deep discounts on all in-stock survival gear. The Freeze-Dry Guy is offering a wide selection of freeze-dried foods in number 10 cans and even individually packaged entrees. Remember, meats, vegetables, fruits, and long-range patrol rations are the main components for any long-term food storage. This is limited to stock on hand, so hurry and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, as always, free shipping to the lower 48 states. So hurry up and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, this is limited to stock on hand. The Freeze-Dry Guy is your choice for survival food in an uncertain world.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
So who else will you meet at the Get Prepared Expo? For starters, from Republic Broadcasting, John Moore and John Statmiller. From GCN, Aaron and Brad Dakins, Joyce Riley, and me, Vincent Finelli. Joining us are the instructors whom you've learned to trust. Surgeon of the Year, Dr. Norman Shealy. Engineer, Matt Stein. The real Fox Mulder of the X-Files, Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Author and analyst, Captain John Reagan. Your counterterrorist from Central America, Mike Ma. Dental center owner and my dentist, Dr. Howard Shane. Radiation instructor, Craig Douglas. Author and survivalist, Rich Sheben. Author, Judy Dollarhite. Cancer Center owner from Mexico, Dr. Patrick Vickers. Bug out expert and pilot, Captain Bill Sermo. Beekeeper, Jeff Maddox. Seedsman, Mike Knox. Author, Gayla Pruitt. Author, Harry Cooper. Food expert, Joe Acapinti. And Bill Whaley, the junk man. March 27, 28, and 29. GetPreparedExpo.com, the largest preparedness and survival expo in the USA.
Let's head to Salem, Oregon, and Hector, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Hector, what's up, buddy?
Hello, Ben. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Yes, I have my son. He's 20 years old.
Okay.
And he's about 150 pounds. And he was diagnosed with a skin problem, tinea versicolor.
Okay.
And then plus he still has some spots and
he does what?
body.
You say what?
Like white spots on his body, and they told him he has a vitiligo as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, you want some help with that?
I was wondering what.
Yeah. We can help you. No problem here. Tinea versicolor is a yeast infection. It's a kind of yeast that lives on the skin. We all have yeast on our skin, but they can overgrow. The fact that he has vitiligo tells me he's got something percolating in his digestive system. For the listeners, vitiligo is an autoimmune condition where the immune system, instead of attacking the enemy, it attacks itself. In the case of vitiligo, it attacks the cells that make pigment, and the end result is white spots. And it can be kind of distressing. Michael Jackson actually had vitiligo, and he ended up bleaching his entire body to make his body even. We don't want you to have to do that, but we want to help take care of the vitiligo, and we can take care of the tinea versicolor all in one fell swoop, because they both involve digestive health. Surprise, surprise. This is the fundamental cause of most diseases. It's breakdown in the digestive system and wrong food choices. So first thing you want to do, Hector, is you want to look to see what kind of problem foods your boy has, or what kind of problems with foods your boy has. There's always going to be foods that either cause gas or bloating or some kind of digestive distress. Those are foods that need to be avoided. If he wants to do a food diary, that always helps. That's where you write down everything you eat, and then you write down how you feel from a digestive system perspective, an hour later, 2 hours later, 4 hours later, 8 hours later, and you kind of keep track of foods that are causing problems, and then you eliminate those foods. At the same time, you're going to want to start to use digestive support supplements. The most important is the Biolumin Nightly Essence, 3 in the morning, 3 at night. It wouldn't hurt to throw in some Fucoid Z, which is also very supportive for the digestive system and for the immune system, for that matter. 3 in the morning and 3 at night as well. Make sure he's on the Healthy Start Pack. I would also throw in the Ultimate Enzymes, and then a little bit of apple cider vinegar after all meals. Apple cider vinegar is a stupendously helpful supplement for the digestive system and really for the whole body. And it's cheap, it's easy to get, and it will help activate the digestive enzymes. So between the food diary, eliminating problem foods, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, the Fucoid Z, and then, of course, the Healthy Start Pack and a little bit of apple cider vinegar with the digestive enzymes after meals, you should notice some significant difference in both the vitiligo as well as the tinea versicolor. And you'll also notice that his digestive system is improving as well. Thanks so much for your call from Salem, Oregon, Hector. Hope we helped you out. Who's next on the line, Doug?
All right, let's head to Wichita, Kansas. And Jerry, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Jerry, what's up?
Yeah, Dr. Ben, this is Jerry. I'm calling about a 59-year-old lady. She had chicken pox real bad as a child, and her lungs are full of scar tissue. She can hardly breathe. They're treating her as COPD, and she's still a smoker. And
oh, my goodness. What is she thinking? What are people thinking?
She weighs 142 pounds, no other health problems.
Well, she's got some serious health problems. She's got COPD. And if she's still smoking, that's a tough one. People get the right to be sick. I've been in the health business now, helping people with all kinds of health issues since 1983, believe it or not. That's 32 years. And one thing I've discovered is that there's this crazy desire that we have to be sick. And I don't know why, I can't explain it, but it's just there, and we all have the right to be sick. If you're smoking and you got COPD, I would say she qualifies as somebody who wants to be sick. Nonetheless, there are things that you can do to at least improve her symptoms. Hang tight, Jerry, and we'll get to you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the CBS Radio Network. We're going to take a break and come back right after this.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
All right, we're back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program, talking to Jerry in Wichita, Pizza Hut country, Wichita, Kansas. Right, Jerry? You there?
Yes.
I got Jerry?
Yes.
All right, so you got somebody with COPD, cigarette smoker. I don't know what you're going to... That's a tough order. That's a tall order, help somebody with COPD who's smoking. But a couple of things that you might want to consider for your friend. Vitamin C, vitamin E, and something called NAC are very important for the lungs, especially after every cigarette. And that's true for anybody who's smoking cigarettes. Sipping on some Beyond Tangy Tangerine, even gargling with a little Beyond Tangy Tangerine might help. The ultimate selenium is also very important for lung health. Selenium is like a battery for something called glutathione, and glutathione is one of the body's most important, maybe the body's... Oh, Jerry, I'm going to let you go here, bro. We got some wind going on. I'm not sure what that is. Hopefully you can listen on the air, off the air, or on the air. Which one or the other. Vitamin C, vitamin E, something called NAC, all very important for the lungs. The Healthy Start Pack, including the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, can be helpful. It's a good idea to gargle with a little Beyond Tangy Tangerine after you smoke cigarettes, whether or not you have COPD. Essential fatty acids, the EFAs, can be helpful for all lung issues. And then the ultimate selenium, as I was saying, is a battery for something called glutathione. It activates glutathione, and glutathione is the body's most important cancer fighter, and glutathione's got a very important role to play in lung health. So you're not going to be able to completely reverse your friend's COPD as long as they're smoking cigarettes, but you sure can go a long way towards improving their health. And thanks so much for your call from Wichita, Kansas. Appreciate it, Jerry. Who's next on the line, Doug?
All right, let's head to South Dakota. And Nelda, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Nelda.
Hi, Ben.
What's going on?
Well, I got a breast cancer diagnosis December 29th, and they have started me on chemo.
Okay.
Supposed to do 8 infusions, 4 of adriamycin and Cytoxan, and then 4 of Taxol every other Monday. And then I have a Neulasta injection after each chemo.
How far along are you? Did they say how far along the cancer was?
They said it was grade 3, stage 2B, estrogen-driven, HER2 negative, had an axillary node dissection where they took 16 nodes, and of that there was a cluster of tumor cells outside one node.
And you didn't notice anything? You didn't notice anything before?
Well, I noticed the lump in my right breast in April, and then I had I went to my gynecologist. He felt on it and assessed it as a benign appearing mass, and I have a history of benign cysts. I had a lump in my right breast back in the 80s, a lump on my thyroid gland in the 80s. They were both benign. I have a history of epithelial cysts, always benign.
All right. How old are you, ma'am? Just approximately.
56.
Okay, good. So you're young. You're a young lady. You can do a lot of stuff here. First of all, you want to focus on the digestive system, especially fats. There's a big, major relationship between fats, the lymphatic system, estrogen, and cancers, especially cancers in fatty tissue. You've probably had digestive issues your whole life, and more than likely around fats. And maybe you noticed it, maybe you didn't, but there's something, you can certainly do something about it right now. Get yourself on the digestive enzymes as soon as possible. Start to focus on the kind of fatty foods that you're eating. You should definitely be staying away, far, far, far away from any processed fats, French fry fats, and trans fats, deep fried fats, all that kind of stuff. You got to avoid them completely, 100%, zero tolerance for all those kinds of fats. Make sure you're using your ultimate essential fatty acids. In fact, make sure you're using the entire Healthy Start Pack. The Ultimate Selenium is wonderfully anti-cancer, and it also protects you from estrogen. The Ultimate Selenium is great for all estrogenic health issues. You should be doing 600 micrograms at least of that, 6 of them a day. They're each 100 micrograms, so 6 of them a day. And then you want to make sure that you're using your essential fatty acids in your Healthy Start Pack. The magnesium and the Beyond Osteo Effects can help as well. You might want to try some of the Immortalium also. There's some nice nutrients in there that have anti-cancer benefits. And, of course, the Cell Shield product with the turmeric and the curcumin can also be beneficial for you. Last but most certainly not least, in terms of digestive health, make sure you're using your Biolumin Nightly Essence and your Fucoid Z. The Fucoid Z is wonderfully anti-cancer, supports your immune system, also important for the blood and the digestive system. And then a neat strategy for folks who are dealing with cancer is intermittent fasting and caloric restriction. That means eating a lot less food, as long as you make sure you're getting your nutrition. Caloric restriction means restricting your calories, but getting the nutrition that you need. And of course, calories mostly come in from carbohydrates, refined carbohydrates, and also the processed fats. You might want to look into something called the ketogenic diet, which is a protein and fat diet and a very, very, very low carb diet. Of course, when it comes to low carb, you want to make sure that you're getting your vegetables, and that's the last thing I would suggest for you is vegetable juices, and lots of them, especially celery and cucumber. Also, beet can be helpful for you too. Not too much, it's a little bit sweet, but get yourself a Vitamix and make sure you're doing your veggies. And the reason I like the Vitamix is you get the fiber. When you're doing juices, it's very important that you keep the fiber. If you're using a standard juicer, you're going to lose the fiber, and a lot of the benefit from vegetables comes from the reaction of bacteria to the fiber in your large intestine, so make sure you're getting the fiber. Hope that works out for you, ma'am, and God bless you and good luck. Thanks for calling. Okay, who's next, Douglas?
All right, let's head to Ohio. And Terry, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Terry, what's up?
Well, I'm a kidney dialysis patient, and I really need your help.
Okay.
I'm a real puzzle to the doctors.
Okay.
Okay, my kidney didn't shut down to a disease. It was urinary retention due to a large prostate.
Okay. How far along?
Okay, but now I'm getting high, very, very high blood pressure.
Okay.
After or during dialysis, I got an extremely painful headache.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Okay. The kidneys, and we've talked about this before, so excuse me for boring any of the listeners, but I'm just going to say it again. Kidney dialysis and kidney disease seems like it's an epidemic. It's happening all over the place. And what's the reason why we have kidney disease? Well, what do the kidneys do? They filter the blood. That means if you got messed up kidneys, you got dirty blood. We talked about this at the beginning of the program. We said all diseases, dirty blood is everything. The kidneys are blood filters. When the blood gets dirty, when it gets clogged, when it gets clotted, the kidneys become damaged. The kidneys are not just spaghetti strainers or filters. They're microscopic filters. So it doesn't take much for the blood to become dirty enough to damage the kidneys. But the problem is in the blood. That means we got to clean the blood. So we got to figure out what's going on in the blood. Well, first of all, dirty blood comes from digestive problems. It comes from wrong food choices. Things leak into the bloodstream through the intestines. This happens it gets worse over time as the intestines break down. So you got to focus on food number one. That's the first thing to do. If you have foods that you know are problems for you, eliminate those. There may be foods that you don't know are problems for you. You got to find those out and you got to eliminate those too. And you want to make sure you're doing all your digestive support. That's the enzymes, the ultimate enzymes, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, and the Fucoid Z. Maybe a little bit of apple cider vinegar after all your meals. And then, like with our last caller, caloric restriction, restricting your calories can be very helpful as long as you're getting your nutrition. A second issue with dirty blood is sugar. Sugar is one of the major reasons why blood becomes dirty. There's a reaction that occurs between sugar and proteins, the proteins in the blood, the proteins in the blood vessels. All of that can create havoc inside the blood. So keeping your sugar down, zero tolerance. I mean zero tolerance for refined carbohydrates, candy bars, desserts, desserts, fruit juice, bread, pasta. You just can't eat those things if you're on dialysis. And you're also going to want to help use nutrients that help your body process sugar, and there's a lot of them. The Sweeties is a must-have. Sweeties is for everybody because we all need help processing sugar, but especially if you're dealing with kidney issues, get on the Sweeties. The Z-Radical or the Fucoid Z will also help you with sugar control. Making sure you're getting enough fiber is also important. As with our last caller, using vegetable juices, making sure you're keeping the fiber in can be very helpful as well. Magnesium in the Beyond OsteoFX is also helpful for helping control sugar, and of course the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is also important. Last strategy for keeping your blood clean and keeping your blood flowing and helping your kidneys is to make sure you're oxygenating. Under conditions of low oxygen, blood becomes thick and clogged, and it will mess up your kidneys. So making sure you're sitting on the couch and doing your slow, that's important folks, slow, deep breathing. Thanks for your call. Hope we helped you out. Got to take a break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network. We'll be back right after this.
Good liver health is vital to your overall health. Did you know the liver is the largest gland in the body? Generating digestive enzymes, converting fat into fuel, controlling metabolism, regulating cholesterol in the blood, and neutralizing toxins and waste products. Decreased liver function can lead to debilitating diseases. Hepal, a proprietary blend exclusive to Prohoba International, can help support healthy liver function. Hepal is a blend of natural organic pollen extracts, including essential enzymes, botanical glutathione, which is considered to be one of the most powerful antioxidants for detoxifying free radicals and exogenous compounds, superoxide dismutase, and aloe vera, formulated to cleanse and support healthy liver function. If you'd like to have healthy liver function, call your local longevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
It doesn't matter whether you're buying coffee at the Quick Mart,
thank you very much,
grocery store, or one of those Wi-Fi equipped coffee shops. The cost these days is ridiculous.
$5, please.
If you're one of us who remember buying coffee at the local diner for a nickel or a dime, and are having sticker shock over the price of coffee these days, I've got great news for you. How would you like to own your own coffee company? We're not talking about some several $100,000 franchise investment. Longevity and its family of companies has now made it possible for you to be a coffee baron for just $10. Longevity's newest company, Jovolution, can do just that. With a full range of great-tasting gourmet coffees, some of the selections also contain healthy vitamins. So stop helping those gourmet companies build empires and start building one of your own with Jovolution from Longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Are you hungry for delicious, nutritious, rich, and satisfying home-cooked meals? Discover the Vita Clay 4-in-1 Smart Organic Cooker. Unglazed Zisha Clay, an ancient secret that makes this fast multi-cooker so special. Infusing your food with incredible flavors, perfect texture, vitamins, and minerals for your good health. It's a slow cooker, rice cooker, a steamer, plus a yogurt maker. Go to VitaClayChef.com and enter promo code RADIO20 for 20% off at checkout. That's VitaClayChef.com.
All right, we're back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. Forgot to mention the Ultimate Daily, by the way, for our last caller. Thank you for reminding me, Douglas Winfrey, for kidney dialysis. But the major thing is the blood. You got to clean the blood. And, kidney disease is a blood issue, but everything is a blood issue. We don't understand that. I've said this so many times before. All disease is cell disease, right? It's not the tissue, it's not the structure, it's the cells that are making the tissue and that are making the structure. Does that make sense, Doug? That all the diseases start at the cell level, but the cells themselves become sick and starved and toxic because of the blood. This is the real issue. All disease is cell disease, and it always follows dirty blood. How does the blood get dirty? It gets dirty through food and through a broken down digestive system. Occasionally, if you're maybe vaccines can do it, or if you have a burn, or you're inhaling something, but for the most part, the blood becomes dirty following digestive system breakdown. I'm not a food Nazi, you guys. I'm not just sitting here talking about food because it's the latest fad. The fact of the matter is there's nothing that is more fundamental to the health of the blood and ultimately to the health of the cells in the system than the foods we're eating and the integrity of the digestive tract. All right, 831-685-1080 is our priority line number, 888-379-2552, toll-free. Health is easy. Health is simple. Let us show you how easy and simple it can be. Who's next on the line, Doug?
Let's head to Springdale, Arkansas. And Clifford, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Clifford.
Hello. Hello, doctor.
What's going on?
The reason I call, I've got a condition on my lower right leg that developed after I have had 2 aorta valves replaced, and the second one, when they stripped the veins out of my leg, it developed a real, they call it stasious dermatitis.
Okay.
They don't really know. But anyway,
it's a rash? Is it like a rash of some kind?
It's a rash and swelling.
Okay. All right.
My leg swells from my knee down to my ankle real bad.
Right. Does it come and go? Does the swelling come and go?
No, it stays up pretty well all the time anymore. It used to come and go.
Does the rash come and go?
No, the rash.
It stays all the time. Okay, here's the deal. Okay, good. When you have a rash on the skin, you have a manifestation of a defensive response. Your body's defending itself from something. Rashes and redness, we talked about this last time on the program, rashes and redness on the skin are a manifestation of the immune system, a sign that the body is defending itself. Now, the fact that your rash, it doesn't come and go, it stays, and the fact that your swelling doesn't come and go and it stays tells me that something is constantly, chronically getting into your body that the body is defending itself from. Now, you got a history of the body breaking down, so that kind of complicates things a little bit, but more than likely, if you have some kind of immune response that is not disappearing, it's something that you're eating. Why? Because your immune system is synonymous, essentially, with your digestive system. It's so important to understand. The immune system is located in the tract that we call the digestive system, the digestive tract. So if you have rashes and you have swelling and you have the manifestations of an immune response, chances are pretty darn good that you're dealing with foods and you're dealing with digestive system problems. So here's what you're going to do. Like we talked with our couple callers ago, I think it was Jesse, we said.
Should probably go on a gluten-free diet, I would say.
Absolutely. Gluten-free. In fact, grain-free, I would say, not just gluten-free. Or even better, gluten-free, grain-free, but even better, focus on foods that cause problems. If you want to just do it, take one fell swoop and take care of everything, yes, gluten-free, grain-free. Even fasting will help you. In fact, if you did a 2 or 3 day fast and then started to reintroduce foods sequentially, one by one, you'll notice that specific foods, are going to make the problem worse. If you want to do a fast, do the Swear V fast. Get yourself on the Beyond Organic Swear V and do a bottle every half hour for a day or two, and then, a bottle every hour, or even every half hour, every day or two, for a day or two, and then reintroduce foods back into your system and focus on your body's response to those foods, starting with your favorite foods. And you'll notice that your favorite foods typically are going to cause a problem. Then you want to start to beef up and build up the immune system. Lots of ways to do that. Of course, the Healthy Start Pack. That's the core of it all. That's the essential Mighty 90 nutrients. Every human being needs the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. They're not optional. They are essential. That's why we call them the essential nutrients. In addition to that, you're going to probably want some, the Fucoid Z, which is wonderful for the blood and for the immune system, also for the digestive system. And I would, you might want to try throw in a little bit of the Ultimate Daily, a couple of those every day, and then a little apple cider vinegar with your Ultimate enzymes after all meals. Thanks for the call. Hope we helped you out. And thanks for listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. If you're on the fence about a nutritional supplement program, give it a shot. I guarantee you 100% you're going to notice a difference. I'm Pharmacist Ben for Doug Winfrey and all the folks at the CBS Radio Network and Dr. Wallach. Have yourselves a wonderful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
You pick up the receiver. With your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead, you finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at gcnlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at gcnlive.com.